Court today said President Biden could end the Trump-era Remain in Mexico policy. So the Biden administration did get one victory from the Supreme Court, meaning the administration can effectively let as many asylum seekers into the country and parole them out into a city near you as they want. That's basically what they've been doing, and it continues to fuel record numbers at the border. This is a group of 200 that crossed the Rio Grande yesterday. Certainly more than that have come over since then. One border sheriff says enough's enough and will send back to Mexico any illegal immigrants he or his deputies find, rather than turn them over to the Border Patrol for likely release into the United States. Robert Sherman is in McAllen, Texas, with who is fighting the sheriff's plan. Hi, Robert.
Hey there, Leland. And we start to see more and more local officials taking the issue of border security into their own hands. We want to show you these photos. These come from Allie Bradley, our friend and independent journalist. And she reports that 4 migrants were apprehended in Kinney County, Texas, after their car flipped over. Those migrants ended up walking away unharmed. But Border Patrol said they could not take those migrants into their custody because they had not cleared emergency protocols and needed to go to the emergency room. Well, Kinney County is a small community along the U.S.-Mexico border, only a handful of sheriffs in their sheriff's office. So the sheriff decided to load those migrants up himself and drive them to the port of entry in Eagle Pass. Listen to this.
Now, had it been different, had they been give-ups and turned themselves in, whole different story. But we're dealing with people that were trying to be smuggled in, trying to make their way past immigration officials to get further into the United States.
And so the ACLU has come out hard against this, saying that the state and local governments do not have the legal authority to deport anyone, which is legally true. But the sheriff defends his move, saying, one, he only drove them to the port of entry, not kicked them across the border. And second of all, he says that the role of enforcing border security has unfairly fallen onto the shoulders of local and state leaders. Texas Governor Greg Abbott even praised the move this week, saying that local law enforcement is taking unprecedented steps amid unprecedented times. Leland?
Yeah, it certainly is unprecedented in every way. And Robert, one of the great things about your reporting down on the border has been able to show both sides, both the crime, the drug, the sort of open nature of the border and the problems associated with it. On the other hand, the humanitarian aspect and the knowledge that so many of these people have risked everything and come with the clothes on their back to a better life. There was some video in your reporting over the past few days, a number of people who were being smuggled in, car chases ensued with law enforcement. The people got out, the illegal immigrants got out, and then were hit and killed on the roadways. And I am wondering if you are seeing or hearing any sense of the change in emotion of the pro-immigration, pro-open borders folks after seeing this video, that something has to change and that we cannot continue in this way in light of this video.
Well, you know, what we have seen, Leland, is that more people are putting the issue of the border more centrally in focus. But one thing that you would know, being down here on the border so much, is that this is such a complicated issue that we oftentimes see people retreat into their own tenets. So for those who are more on the conservative side, they look at the drugs, they look at the criminality aspect here, and that's what they focus on. Those on the other side of the conversation only focus on the humanitarian aspect. We don't really see the bridging of the gaps between those two sides, and so far, that's really remained the case.
Yeah, especially now the divide between federal and local and state law enforcement, which creates even more problems. Robert, awesome reporting, indeed, on both sides of this issue. Thank you.
You got it.
Thanks for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to subscribe. Click the red button to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.